everybody, it's Romania Black, and yes, we're on volume 33 of Attack on Titan. So I've watched the finale, I've watched the anime, and 2 more volumes to go. And then I can start the long and arduous process of creating the final recap, review, and RIP, which I have some ideas for. I've talked on Patreon in the Discord a little bit about those ideas. I don't want to spoil it for those of you, though, on YouTube. I'd love it to be a surprise for everyone. But I will say this. The final recap, review, and RIP is probably going to be long. Hope you're ready. Hope you're ready. Hope that while you're with your family during the holidays and you're trying to be like, God, I don't want to listen about the political talks or anything like this, let me put this on in the background and hear me ramble about Attack on Titan endlessly, right? So I have some ideas. I'm a little bit sniffly and I have some sneezing, so if I sneeze during this, I'm sorry. I have like a little bit of a head cold. It is not bad, but it's just annoying, right? It's just like a little teeny twinge and it's gross. But in any case, I am really excited to be diving into these final 2 volumes. I'm super happy about that. I've been reading everybody's comments. They've been amazing. I'm putting on my plot armor to get ready for the comments on YouTube for the final parts, because especially that first part, the first part that's going to go over what I think is going to happen here in volume 33, I was pretty brutal and just roasting Eren. But you know what? I view these manga volumes as a chance for me to reflect, to go back through and reflect and rethink my initial emotional reactions from the anime and discussion and talk with you all about them in a more enlightened state now that I've watched the whole thing, and to go back through. But it feels weird because, you know, I watched 4 seasons of the anime and then started back at volume 1 of the manga, so it felt like very nostalgic. This doesn't necessarily feel nostalgic. It feels like I'm doing like the commentary for the DVD, right? But before we start this, I did want to go back. Somebody had noted in the comments for volume 32 that I missed something on the cover. And the only thing I can deduce from looking at the cover of volume 32 is that Falco and Armin are not there, right? Falco and Armin are missing. So I don't know if they're sitting on top of Armin, because he's like, you know, it looks like maybe it could be like the colossal titan they're standing on top of, and there's a flash in the background that I thought was the sunset. Maybe it's Falco transforming on the ship and breaking the ship. Maybe it's foreshadowing to that, because those things should be happening in these next volumes. So maybe it's foreshadowing to that. I don't know. The only thing that's kind of interesting is that for the most part, the warriors, Reiner and Magath and Peak and Gabby, have guns. But then Annie has a sword and John has a gun. So I find that fascinating, right? What do we do with that? I don't know. But those are my only observations from volume 32. So maybe that's what they were talking about. I'm assuming when they watch this, they will know what I mean by it. But yeah, I'm really excited, y'all, to dive into this volume and see what we get. But first, I want to give a special shout out and thanks over to Patreon, because you guys help me buy these manga. Like, I'm buying the digital copies, but I am buying the official English release because I want to support Isayama, and I want to give him money, and I want to buy his things and support him for making this amazing story. And so you guys all help me be able to do that. So with that being said, I'm really thankful for patrons who help support me, especially those on the philanthropy tier who each and every month donate a little bit extra to help me be able to do the things that I do on this channel. So a special shout out over to Alex Cornejo, to Anime Annie, to Anna, to Ashley Got Snow Bitches, to Be Happy, to Dana, to Destiny Marie, to Eric, to Edgar, to Kiri, to Loisige, to Matthew Palfinier, to Nameless Monster, to Saku, to Shimoyama, as well as Sunspots, Trails, Translucent Men, Tyrone, and Zakiel. Thank you all so much. I really appreciate it. All of my love. So, with that being said, we're not going to waste any more time. We are going to dive right in and talk about this volume, because we're finally here, right? And so yeah, we're gonna do that here in 3, 2, 1, and let's go. Toss this to my little demon titan dogs. This cover's great. I like the cover. I like the steam. You can't see the colossal titans through the bottom. There's Eren looking up at him with his little tiny lips and his like grunge Slipknot hair. It's wonderful. I like how pissed Armin looks. Armin looks like he's ready to throw a thunder spear right into Aaron's face. It's also a nice little, now that we've watched the anime, a nice little foreshadowing of the punch that he's gonna give Aaron in the face. Jean and Connie are flying towards him. Levi's like, the fudge. And then Mikasa's just levitating. Mikasa's like floating Frieza style above Aaron, which is a nice little foreshadowing that's gonna be Aaron versus Mikasa at the end. Who knew? The Rumbling, Wings of Freedom, Sinners, and the Depths of Despair. Ooh. Those are very fitting chapter titles, considering that this is like such a heart-wrenching section. Also, episode 29 was cut in half, called The Rumbling and Sinners. Fits this. Nice. So we're basically getting... I was told, because I was debating on whether to read this before the final act, and I was told not to do that. So that's interesting. So this is good. This volume's going to end a little bit differently than part 1 of the anime, because I remember the mods were like, okay, without spoiling you, just don't do it. And I was like, okay, I trust you. Because I asked the mods, I was like, can I read the volume of 33 before I watch the final set of Attack on Titan? And they were like, we wouldn't. And I was like, okay, that's all they said. And I was like, fine. Oh, man. Now Theo's gone too! They X'd out. They still got Colt and Porco. Their corpses are long dead cold. And now they've added Magath too. How dare you, Isayama? Just adding salt to the wound. Well, damn. Now we're going to get to see Ramsey and Halil die again. I didn't want to see this. No, this first part of the anime was really rough. It was really rough to watch, right? And they're also like bright-eyed, especially Ramsey. Ramsey's like, wow. And then he's got where his hand was cut off. And he's like, I'm done living like that. And that's why I want to give this money to my family if I die. And then that's when everybody's running away. Oh my gosh, the ground, it's howling. Oh, that's so good. So good. And trees all over. Isayama is like a metaphor for trees. The fact that Halil and Ramsey are planting their money and hiding away under a tree. Isayama was like, do you want nature metaphors? Do you want metaphors about trees? Here you go. And there he be. Also get a nice little Hitchcock reference with the birds. I don't know how far in the future it will be, but I'm going to slaughter all of these people. I like the fact that as we flash back into the fade to black to do the flashback, we get Aaron's voice. I also like the idea that, granted, given the fact that we see the bird lift up Mikasa's scarf at the end, and we see the thing through the bird's eye, and there's kind of a sort of symbolic, maybe understanding that Aaron's spirit is through the bird. I like that we get the bird looking down at the people almost like it's Aaron looking down at them. That's really cool. In bird form, right? And then we see all the people. Look at this nice sailor here. This sailor hitting on this lady like, hello, want to get off this island before a rumbling? That's fun. And the chimney sweeps. That poor doggo looks like it could use some food. Very soon now, they will all be dead. No, I'm going to kill them. And of course, my dogs will freak out right now because it's quiet. I'm going to kill them. It's already set. Which means that we also never found a way for Parody to survive. So Aaron's going through the motions of realizing that he's like, well, because I am going to kill these people, it means we couldn't figure out a way for Parody to survive. And this is going to be wiped out, all of this, the homes, the animals, the dreams, the people. It's one of the things that's so frustrating in this moment, too, especially in hindsight, because I'm going to argue this to the ends of the earth. It is a mountain I'm not going to get off of, is the fact that, no, the cruelest thing of all is that it's not that they never found a way for Parody to survive. It's that they hadn't found it yet. And Aaron decided that, no, I'm going to wipe him out. But he's convinced that because he ends up choosing to wipe them out, that must mean that, no, they didn't find a strategy, when that's not entirely true. And it's just those little tweaks, right? And then him seeing the woman, which I've been told through Discord after I finished the second part, I was told in the Discord that the woman here with the man with the baguette, she's the one whose baby is the one lifted up later on. And I was like, okay. So that'll be interesting to see it come back. What would Mom think? Well, she'd be really pissed. was the answer to that question. And then again, we have this like the contrasting, like, I'm glad that Aaron's thinking about these things. I'm glad he's thinking like, well, does that mean that we should die? No, it doesn't necessarily mean that you should, but he's like, if nothing else, isn't there just too big of a difference between the number of people who will die on the island and outside? It's a fact that if all the aliens get wiped out, the Titan problem would disappear. But again, I do appreciate Aaron realizing that he can't accept an ending like that. That no, the Eldians shouldn't bear, the people of Paradise should not bear the total responsibility of it necessarily. But it's the idea that Aaron can't see past that it's either we win or we lose. There's no gray area, when in fact there is a bit of gray area. That boy, I've seen him in a future memory. And he's like, I'm going to kill him, so I'm such a hypocrite. I have no right to pretend to care about justice. But he ends up saving him anyway. Which is interesting that Aaron ends up saving him, even though he thinks it's not going to do anything. The future doesn't change. And so yeah, here the boy has his arm still. But the sad thing is, Ramsey has his hand there. In the end, I'm just like Reiner, a half-hearted piece of shit. I'm even worse than that. The thing about it is that Ramsey has both of his hands here, and later we see that he still tries to steal again, and he still loses his hand. He didn't stop what he was doing. Oh, that's so cruel. Cruel Isayama. And then Aaron crying, saying, I'm sorry. And this kid's like, why are you crying? Yeah, the anime made it look much more sincere. Like, Aaron's face looks a little warped there. And then, yeah, why are you crying? And then there it be. Interesting. Why is it only half a page? What's going on? Let me get that back. Oh, no. It's only half a page. Oh, never mind. Must be something weird. Ew! Those Titans with the eyes carved out? What the fudge? That's creepy. That's creepy as hell. Oh, hell no. And then, yeah, they're climbing the mountain. No! Titans can climb mountains? It's over. There's nowhere to run. It is really, honestly, the terrifying thing is that I find these zombies to be more scary than the zombies that run are like anxiety inducing, but the zombies that just slowly creep towards you and you eventually get to a wall where there's nothing you can do. Those are scarier to me than the zombies that like come out over and jump scare you. At least those are like, you're expecting it. Here it's just like a slow and inevitable death. It's just like, it's crazy. And so did the Marlians get away? Can't we at least save the children? And then I like that Ramsey tells Halil, we can't give up. Oh. And then Aaron tells this kid it's to save Eldia, but more than that. And then I do, now that I can go back and reflect, I do appreciate that at first Aaron's like, oh, well, it's to save Eldia. And then it's like, well, wait, well, actually, no. Like, that's probably one of the biggest and best revelations about Aaron's character is that he's been kind of using that whole, oh, I'm doing it to save my friends as a means this entire time. And I'm not saying he didn't want to save his friends, but it's like, at this point, are you really going to try to scapegoat your friends and saying you did it all for them? That's not true. Instead, he's like, no, the reality is Life Beyond the Walls was nothing like the world I dreamed about. Oh my gosh. I don't know why it's cutting it off, but it is. Damn it. It's nothing like the world I'd seen in Armin's book. Well, the thing about it is, Armin's book didn't have people in it. Armin's book was just landscapes and vistas and animals. There were no humans in it. So, surprise, the human race is a bit of a mess. Oh no. When I learned that humanity had survived beyond the walls, I was so disappointed. Oh my god! Isayama! Why? I'm glad the anime didn't show that! Didn't show Ramsey and Halil with like, oh my god! Oh, why? Just why? Shit. I wasn't ready for that. No, when he like leaned, when he like pulled him over. Oh, when he grabbed him. Oh my God. And my thing is like, you know, Hanji and the others, there's such a huge difference because Hanji and the others, when they went to the other side of the wall, they saw the same things that Eren did, right? They saw the injustice towards the Eldians. They saw the system and how messed up it was. And I'm sure they were disappointed too. They were like, damn it, this isn't like what we imagined. The difference is they were like, well, let's keep trying to make it better. And Eren's like, nah. Eren's like, I'm done. And Eren's like, let's just wipe them all out. And I'm like, wait a minute. Shit. Oh my God. I wished for it all. I made a wish. A wish for it all to be wiped away. I'm so sorry. And he sees Ymir and Ymir's the wish granter right there. Oh my God. Oh. And Isayama makes that moment as grisly and gory and terrifyingly bad as possible to kind of show that, yeah, Eren's fallen very far and like to the point of no return, right? But it is so, the selfishness of Eren's actions come out at this point, and you're like, that's real sad that you're sorry, and it's sad that you're telling this kid that you're I'm sorry, I'm about to flatten you and your friend. Sorry about that, but I was just disappointed in the world. And it's like, but it's supposed to show you how awful that is. It's like, you know, we've had Niccolo saying, you just keep trying for peace, no matter how much you fail, no matter how much you die, or rather than others die, you just keep trying at it and you keep going. And eventually little things will add up and make a bigger change. And then you have Keith Shaddis, the bystander, that's like, well, if you get kicked back down, you just teach people in the next generation to rise up and do what you can't do. And Eren's like, why would I do that? I'll just wipe it all out. Oh my God. I'm sorry. No. I can't say that you have these two besties holding hands as they get crushed into oblivion, and Eren's like, sorry. Nope. Nope, that's cutting it. And then, yeah, it just flattens. I don't know why it's cutting off part of these panels. It's very frustrating. And they were always there wherever I looked. From the day I was born, those miserable walls. And then Armin's showing him the seas, and anyone who saw those things would be the freest person in the world. Yeah, oh, this part of the anime was really good when Eren turns around and he's like, freedom. I don't know why it's being so weird like that. Yeah, that face! Where he's just like what's weird is like Eren makes that face, and it's the same face that Armin makes when they're about to hug in the future, in the next volume, I'm sure. But yeah, we made it. This view, this is it. Right, Armin? Like, we did this, right? You show me. That is the only thing that I'm kind of like frustrated about the story, though, is that they pin some of the blame on Armin for showing Eren a book. Like, Armin gets some of the blame. And I know people have been like, well, it's because Armin showed Eren that there was life outside the walls. And so I'm like, well, he was going to find out anyway, right? Like, through the Survey Corps. And, like, if the stuff came out from Erwin, wasn't he going to find out eventually? I don't like the idea that Armin gets kind of placated into the blame because he showed Eren a book. And it's like, what? I'm sorry. If somebody, it's sort of like religion. Someone can make you sit down and read the Bible, but that doesn't mean you're going to become a Christian. You know, it's one of those things like, just because he showed him a book with stuff in it and it piqued his curiosity doesn't mean that it's Armin's fault that Eren's a genocidal maniac. It never sat well with me, but I do like the idea that this is the transition to showing Armin being like, the fudge. And Eren's like, look how happy Eren is. Like, little kid Eren's smiling, and Armin's like, what? And the cool thing is that from here, this is where Eren and Armin meet up and have that vision. And then it'll come back to this moment later. But, we're not going to get to that today. No. Instead, we have Armin being like, what the fudge? He's like, I had some time. Yeah, sure. I thought I'd never, once we got here, I didn't think I'd feel so relaxed. And part of that feeling relaxed is him and Aaron making the pact that they'd see each other again in hell. And so then Annie's like, come on over here and have a seat. I did honestly really love this in the anime. I have been waiting for Annie and Armin's relationship to get brought up. And here it is. And she's like, why would you talk to me? And he's like, because I missed you. And then she's like, why? And he's like, do you really not get it even after Hitch teased me so much? And then she's like, I don't get it. She's like, why do you like me? I love it. Again, Armin has a type because Annie and Aaron are so similar in terms of their own lack of self-worth. Armin definitely has a type. For sure. But I love this. And the fact of it, one, poor Bertolt. Bertolt didn't get to confess to Annie, so poor him. But two, I mean, this is something that Aaron would argue, you know, back in Savagery that, oh, it's because you ate Bertolt. But I'm like, no, Armin's kind of always had an inclination towards Annie. It just was never like materialized into a form of romantic interest. And then during talking to her the whole time, it kind of just bloomed from there, you know, like you do. And so hundreds of millions of people are going to be trampled. What are we doing? And she's like, so you're a good person. So you're willing to talk to an enemy like me. I like that Isayama like bolds that. She's like, that's why you visited the terrible female titan who could wake up at any moment. Anything to avoid conflict. And I love that Armin stops her and grabs her hand because he's thinking about what he's going to say. He's not denying it. He's not agreeing with it. He's just thinking about what he wants to say. He's like, I know I've told you this before, but I don't like being called a good person. And I love that because Annie said the same thing. She doesn't think that she's a good person either. And it kind of goes against the whole thing with Ymir in the booklet that Ymir was the good girl and she always tried to do the right thing and everything. And Armin and Annie are both like, we're not good people. We're just doing the best we can, right? And Armin says, he's like, I've killed a lot of people. He's like, I've killed regular people, children when I blew up. He's like, and I've made the choice to betray everyone on the island where I was born and raised. He's like, I've been a terrible monster myself for a long time. The difference is, he says, somewhere there's a promise I made to Aaron that we'd travel this world, and I thought that it would come true. And then Annie's like, well, the unknown isn't all it was cracked up to be, was it? And Armin's like, no, it wasn't the world that we dreamed of. And then he sees the bird. And it's almost like Aaron's looking at him through the bird, right? It's like, is Aaron looking at everyone through birds? Is that what's happening now? And he's like, I want to believe that there's still a place we know nothing about, somewhere beyond the walls. That there's somewhere that we'll find people that haven't put up walls yet. That there's some beauty in the cruel world that we can find. That's the difference, right? I love the skeleton being like connecting through Aaron. That's so creepy. The anime makes it so dark you can't really see anything but Aaron's face. But here you see is just like his head's propped up and his whole spine is like elongated there. Creepy. But yeah, the idea that Armin, throughout everything that happened, he still had hope that there would be something in humanity that would be beauty through the cruel world. And Aaron gave up on that a long time ago. So yeah, Wings of Freedom. Yep. And so we're going to the motherland. Oh, there's this guy here. This guy was not in the original, I don't think. Look at Beefy Reiner up front with his biceps out. Look at him. Armin trying his best. Okay. Oh. And they're like, are we going to use these explosives on Aaron? I don't know. Poor Falco. Bless his heart. Oh, no. Poor Falco. I hate it. And Peak trying to, like, console him, but she doesn't even have answers. Meanwhile, Annie is, like, deciding she doesn't want to go. I don't get this saving humanity stuff. Again, she's a lot like Aaron. I don't get this saving humanity stuff. She's like, we were persecuted. It's all I ever knew. No one in the world would ever stand with the Eldians now. She's like, but I can't fight any longer. Let me live my final moments in peace. And she's just staring at Armin. Oh my god. Oh, Mikas's face! It's better in the anime, I think, because it's like, what? When did this start? She's like, never mind, fine. Because it's like, what is happening? Yes. You don't need to suffer anymore, but Armin's coming with us, and we're all heading out to find Aaron. Oh, I love it. Yes, please. Okay. And what are you going to do when you find him? Are you going to kill him to save humanity? And the funny thing is, Mikasa says, I won't kill him. Aaron's just strayed too far from home. I'm just bringing him back. Which she kind of does both, I guess. She does kill him and she brings him back. So, And she's like, I'm just not wearing one. I'm saving my scarf for a dramatic reveal, Annie. Don't you know how this story goes? How dare you? Now, what's interesting is they don't show it yet here. It will be interesting to see if they show it in the manga. But in the anime, when I went back and was editing, during the part, you kind of see some little puddles and splashes on the dock. And at the time, during the reaction and discussion, I didn't think much about it. But it's actually foreshadowing that Flock was crawling up the ramp and they didn't see him because the little water puddles were showing him like getting back on the surface from the ocean. So I don't know if we'll see that in this. Oh, now, in the anime too, Levi's going down some stairs and here he's just walking down the hallway. Her fever broke. She's awake. Okay, so Yelena had a fever. That's good to know. She was sick and then she's woke up. Okay. And then we cut to the flashback with Yelena explaining what's going to happen. Will that really be enough to keep them away from parity for decades? A nation that loses warships will be driven to financial collapse. It's more than enough as long as we can hit every major nation. And again, I feel like the anime showed Aaron being a lot less trusting of her than he is here. And then Fort Salta. They call it Salta or Salva, depending upon the subtitles. But yeah, a place worth its salt. Am I right? That'll be his next stop. He'll destroy the airships. I like that Hanji says that, sure, I'll admit it. I had no solutions, no hope, and no future to show Aaron I was powerless. I like the way it's framed in the manga because the way that it's framed in the anime makes it seem like Hanji was agreeing with the euthanization plan. And here it seems it's kind of twisted a little differently where Hanji's not necessarily admitting the euthanization plan was the right thing to do, but rather saying, I didn't have any other plans, so I was pretty powerless in that regard. Okay. Reiner looks pretty nice there. Look at him all standing up there and Jean lifting these barrels, right? Again, we don't have any like inclination that Flock is back. Love it. All right. And so everybody's getting ready. Oh my God, Levi with that. 2 fingers is all I need. All good. I love everybody's just like I love how the anime portrayed it too, because the anime had everybody going, huh. Annie, I'm the only one running away. I really like the way that Annie looks up to Reiner there. And then Reiner apologizing. Oh, I can't count how many times I felt just killing you. I admire your self-control. Oh, I do love this little hug. It's so cute. Yes, sir. Oh, and then Armin. That's really good. I like that. Where he lifts up the little hand. Can you let her go like that? Like how? And Jean and Connie are like they don't even get it. No. Annie should just keep being Annie. Yeah. And then Peek's like, I'm doing what General McGath. Oh, and then Hanji's saying, well, I'll gladly ride on the Tart Titan's body and feel the heat of its body. Stop. Why are you being gross? Yes. I like that. The anime made it a lot better, right? You're a Titan. And the anime also said, like, your Titan hard on. But here it says, your Titan love will always go unrequited. I'll charm her yet, just you watch. Oh, Hanji. Oh. Can they see us now? Oh, I love that their backs are facing. He's like, don't start talking like him. Oh my gosh, Flock just comes out of nowhere! The fudge! And his hair looks the best it's ever looked. Look at him. Look at him. Damn. The best thing that happened to Flock in this finale is that his hair looked great. Doused with water. Waterlogged. Like a half-dead corpse. But his hair looked amazing. Oh my god. The fudge. And then, yeah, Mikasa. Oh my god. In the anime, they did not want to show Flock getting grisly mutilated. But here, Isayama was like, yeah, I'm going to show it. Like, right into the jugular. They're like, Flock? We didn't recognize him. His hair looked decent. He held onto the boat. Oh my god. And of course, you can start seeing the little rumbling sounds as Anyon's like, we're freaking out, man. And like, we can close him up. Get the welder! Hanji's like, how's long going to take? He's like, well, maybe an hour. Oh, I love the tools rumbling. That's great. Shit. Oh my god. No! Oh! Don't let go. Don't go. I liked someone commented that someone on Patreon was commenting how Jean, even though it was Flock, Jean didn't want him to die. And I think that's so good that even after everything that happened, Jean didn't want Flock to die in the end. And I think that really says a lot for Jean's character. Our devil is our only hope. Which is what he thought for Erwin. That's why he followed Erwin all that time. He didn't like Erwin, but he followed him nonetheless. And it's what he was with Eren. And I love the Hanji's like, you're right, but we still can't give up. Even if we fail here, maybe someday. Yeah, that's the Niccolo conversation. That's the children in the forest. All of that. Oh. I like that this poor Asmobita woman, she had to shovel all this coal by herself while Annie was holding the door down for these two kids. Holy cow. And then Armin's like, well, I'll try to stay here and slow him down. And Reiner's like, hell no, you're our only chance of getting to Eren. And then that's when Hanji's like, nah, I'm the one who led us here. I started the story. I'm going to finish it. It's time to face the music. I appoint you the 15th commander. It just happens all of a sudden. It's just like, boom. Yep. Wow. Speech over. Bye, everybody. Oh! And Levi reports to you, working to the bone. And Hanji just doesn't give them a time to be sad. They're just like, I'm going. Bye. It feels like it's finally here, you know. My big moment. I want to look as cool as possible, so just let me walk away. I love the light in Hanji's eyes. The light in Hanji's eyes and then the light that's not in Levi's. Ah! So sad. Dedicate your heart. That's the first time I ever heard you say that. Oh, damn. Oh my god, I love that. It's so sad how dead-eyed that Levi looks, but Hanji, the glimmer and the sparkle in their eyes. Oh. Titans are truly magnificent. Hanji's finest hours, man. Just going down like a boss. Like a freaking boss. Start the engines. Yeah, they only managed to get halfway. Oh my god. And then just like towering them over so they can get out. It's so hot. Oh no. Wow. The anime made this so epic and amazing. I mean, it does not... Isayama, I love you, sensei, but the anime did this so much justice, letting Hanji go out on such a high. Ah. Yep, and then Hanji. Oh my god, yeah. No, Hanji, the anime did this so well. Damn. I think that the anime did this scene like a lot better. I know I love the manga, but the anime really elevated this a lot. Oh. Just watch us. Yeah. Oh, and there's Sasha and Keith and Nanaba. I like that Moblet and Mike and Erwin are the ones. And they're all looking at it when it first takes off when she wakes up. Everyone. I swear. The things that idiot Eren got up to. He's like, yeah, it must have been difficult. Tell us all about it. Oh. Oh, yeah. I will say, I think the anime really elevated the scene with Hanji quite a bit. I think so. And then, oh my god, they have all the explosives from the boat right there in the back. Holy cow. And then, yeah, everybody's quiet for a second. And then Armin's like, all right, we're counting on you. Yeah, at the moment that Armin turns around, he instantly becomes the commander. It's so good. Let's go over the plan. Here's our drawing of Eren. It's a creepy little worm thing. All right. Your Colossus Titan could do it. All right. Only after we've exhausted the possibility of talking with Eren. It'll be our last resort. This is our last resort. Yeah. And then I like that throughout all of this, Levi's like, can we just kill Zeke? Can this be a thing that happens? All right. I just need a little help. I like that everybody's looking at Levi like, a little help. But surprisingly, Levi only needed Gabby's help. Honestly. Yeah, like Zeke just made himself open to Levi. It's the greatest thing. All right. And John's saying to stop the rumbling, I'll do anything it takes. All right. And then Connie talks about killing Daz and Samuel. And he's like, well, they told me they were saving the world. This is how it was for all of you. I like that Reiner's like, my sins are beyond redemption. Even if we manage to save what's left of humanity, I won't forgive myself. But let's at least save the rest of humanity. If we can't be redeemed, we've still got to do this, I guess. Yeah, it's all about, I mean, a lot of this story is about making these choices and, you know, despite the outcome, because yeah, it seems so ridiculous that Reiner and Connie and them are like, they have this survivor's guilt and they're like, we can never undo the things that we've done. We can never, you know, go back on our sins and we're irredeemable. So to make the decision to still save humanity after everything you've done is a pretty selfless act. And it stands in opposition to Eren completely, right? And he's like, we're all the same. I never had any right to blame you for anything because I became a murderer to save others. And that's when Reiner says, well, Eren said the same thing to me the night of the attack on the Barrio. Do you think Eren might want us to stop him? Well, I mean, I think Eren, it's such a weird thing because on the one hand, Eren's like, well, the only way is to see if they will stop me, but that's their choice. But I'm still wanting to destroy the world regardless. And Armin's like, he controls the actions of every Titan. We're still able to use the power of the Titans the way we always could. Although Ymir is part of that too, right? Eren's choosing not to interfere. He's letting us act freely. He's testing us to see what we do, which is kind of like testing your friends, you know. But we know the full story now. It's painful for him too. Slaughtering all of humanity isn't something anyone could endure. If it was me, I'd want someone else to handle the power of the Founder by now. And if it wasn't possible, I'd want it to be stopped by someone. And then Mikas is like, who, me? And then yes, we're in the paths. Maybe this is just like making it a smaller thing instead of the big giant. I like John's like, what the fudge? Okay. Not again. Was he eavesdropping on us? And then we were wrong. We're the ones who forced you to this point. Is the whole "we were wrong" part? It kept reminding me of a movie, and I was trying to think of what it was. Okay, this is gonna be the most obscure, random, ridiculous callback to, but this scene where they're all there trying to convince Eren that, you know, it was our fault too. We were wrong to think of you like this. You don't have to kill anybody else. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of the 1986 Care Bears movie. Where Nicholas is the villain and the Care Bears and the two little kids in the movie, they're like, Nicholas, we were wrong. We should have tried to talk to you and all this stuff. This scene reminds me of that Care Bears, like the climax of the damn Care Bears movie. What a random reference. But yeah, we'll figure out the rest from here. You don't have to keep slaughtering people for us. And it's like, look, Aaron ain't doing this just for you. And she's like, I want to share the burdens of the sins with you. We're all guilty. Stop avoiding us and come back to us. And Levi's like, please stop. But no. Aaron says, I will not stop the rumbling. I'm not going to leave the future parody to fate. I will keep moving forward. Which is hilarious because it's like Manifest Destiny. He's trying to, you know, alter fate, which he is kind of. And then, yep, them all going towards Kid Aaron. And then he's like, Aaron, talk to us. To hold freedom in my own hands, I must take freedom from the rest of the world. But I won't take anything from you. You all are free. Oof. You're even free to defend the rest of the world, and I have the freedom to continue moving forward. As long as we have our own unbreakable convictions, we will collide. And the only thing that remains for us to do is to fight. Creepy! Come play with us! Creepy shining twins! Nope. Nope. They're both like The Shining. Nope. It's like part two. Which, the thing is, you can fight without violence. That's kind of the irony of it. You can fight for what you believe in without causing mass genocide. But again, Aaron's a baka. Why did you call us here? So I could speak to you and tell you there's no need for us to talk. If you wish to stop me, you'll have to stop me from breathing, and you are free to try. I like that Levi's just sitting there like, well, that answered our question. Got our answers. Yep. And the thing about it is, he's already told him and Armin at this point have already talked and decided. Aaron has already said his goodbyes to everyone at this point in the paths. He's already said his goodbyes to everyone at various times. And so he's told them they can't remember. So now he's like, there's no need for me to talk to you guys anymore. I've already talked to you. We've already discussed things. I've already put you in my will. Okay, bye. And then, yep. I like Jean's like, well, shit. My prediction was right. And I like when Armin looks at Mikasa and she's in pain and Armin's like, son of a bitch. You made Mikasa mad. How dare you? Meanwhile, we have the voyage to Hisru will take several days. And so, the Hisru woman, the Asmobita woman is wondering how she can atone for her sins. I wonder why don't we realize we've lost it until we've gone. Right? You know, all those questions. I like Annie seeing like her and her dad, her and the warriors, her and the scouts, Armin. Just mainly Armin. And her saying, well, damn it, it's too late for me to be with him. No, I can't wait to read all the fan fiction now. You all have no idea. I've waited 2 years to read fan fiction for this series. I'm going to get to now. It's going to be great. And just so happens Annie's thinking about her could-be boyfriend when this should-be couple shows right up. He's like, Miss Annie, I had a dream. And she's like, damn it, kids. Annie reminds me a lot of Android 18 from Dragon Ball Z. I feel like her design was inspired a lot by it. And Armin, I guess you could say, is kind of like Krillin. But in a better way, right? Maybe in a better way. But yeah, Mr. Zeke's dreams. No, a memory. Is it true that the female titan can take, I'm gonna sneeze, other titans and manifest those abilities? Which we also had this happen not only in Annie, like maybe ingesting and getting certain abilities, but Aaron did too when he drank the serum and all that stuff. So, and she's like, shut up, you damn kids! Go lick some coal or something. Oh my god. I also love this part too, because it's so cheesy in the moment, but it's like Gabby and Falco are literally children. So them acting like kids, it's so great in the moment. I love it. And she's like, wait a minute. You saw one of Zeke's memories? It's one flying above the clouds. It feels like something that I could do too. Everything is connected to the paths, right? And maybe Aaron is showing, did Aaron show Falco that he was going to be able to fly? Who knows? Yep, there was some kind of bird-like, there was something kind of bird-like about your Titan. It wasn't like Mr. Galliard's jaw Titan at all. He's like, we're leaving. She's like, you're going to turn into a Titan. Oh, so here's some extra stuff here. We're going to turn into a Titan here. The ship's going to sink on the spot and kill us all. Why are you so confident you'd be able to do something like that when you couldn't control your Titan powers at all? What's lost isn't coming back. I do not mind if this ship sinks. Not when the alternative is living with even more regrets. Hashtag no regrets. Miss Asmabito's like, nah, sink the ship if it means you guys can get out of here. All right, yeah, cool. I like that little, that's additionally on here. That could be why we did not show that before the second part. Yep, Fort Salta. Back to the beginning, right? And the trains, everything, leading back to Door of Hope. All right, Mr. Finger. Aw, Peek's dad. All right, and then all the airships leaving, and then here come the rumbling. Here comes the Titans. Oh my God, that's just insanity. Crazy talk. We could be saved. Yeah, and then there comes the Zeppelins. My brother was making a Zeppelin joke when I told him about this. Oh, hey! Oh, shit! Did we see this in the first part, or was this saved for the second part? What? Her having this baby. Oh, my God. Yeah, they didn't have a damn up patrol. Did we get Farmhand Coon? Did we get Farmhand Coon's face there? Please? Oh, my God. It is Farmhand Coon. We get a little bit of his mug. Damn it! And then all the people across the world. Wow, so yeah, definitely why I needed to wait to watch part 2 before reading this chapter. Holy cow. Oh my God. Like these Titans just looking down. The setting sun and the like the shrine and everything with like the Japanese motif is seems very intentional. Oh my God. Oh. It's just disgusting. Right? Oh, and there's the cliff. Okay. And the lady with the baby. Yes. Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay. So yeah, and as they're falling into, as she falls to her death, she carries the baby up, right? And they're trying to lift the baby to save it, right? See, there's a part of this that's kind of interesting because the baby looked like, I mean, it was crowd surfing throughout the entire anime part, and here it's being lifted up into the air. It's still crowd surfing, but the way it's being lifted, they show the hands lifting it up there. I guess there is something interesting about this moment because on the one hand, looking at this, you could take it as like, are the people sacrificing the baby to the Titans to stop it? But I don't think that's it at all. No. I mean, it kind of looks like, if you just looked at the one panel of them holding the baby up, you might get that impression. But the idea is, it is literally the getting the children out of the forest motif. It's the selflessness where the adults down below are trying to get the kids out of the way of danger. Whereas this entire story, through the warrior program, through the cadets, through everything, children have constantly been put into the forest to fight battles for other people. And here's the one chance they're like, get the baby out of here and try to save the kids from the forest. So I think that's what it means. And then, yeah, and we cut straight to, we go from Astoria having a baby to this, to the baby in the woman's arms, which I honestly thought that Astoria having a baby would have more relevance in this. I don't know what I was expecting at this point in the story, but it's just her having a baby. And then the Zeppelins go to try to attack. And saying, and here's the thing too, we just had a bunch of montages with kids, and so this kind of illustrates my point, where he says, it is the shared responsibility by every one of us adults. Adults. Not the kids. The adults. We exploited hatred. We kept feeding our resentment. We even thought our hate would save us. And we dumped every problem caused by our shortcomings onto the island devils. And the result was the birth of that monster, which has come to return our hatred upon our own heads. Yeah, because it's like the ED for season 4, part 2 is a child of evil. It's you created a child that would take revenge upon you, right? And it's so, this whole message of the story, and I'm going to talk about it in the recap, is so important because even now, in our own lives, we are seeing in our own reality countries where children are losing families, are losing their homes, are losing their sense of happiness and a chance of carving their own identities to war and violence caused by adults who should know better, but don't. And it's, Isian was trying to say a cautionary tale, like all we are doing are creating errands, are creating children of evil that will one day believe that there is no chance of peace possible and will do something stupid like this. And that's what it is. And it's just, it's like, do you not get it? It's so visceral. But yeah. And it's like, if it's possible, I will not make the same mistakes if we see another tomorrow. And then we have Reiner and how his mom, like, she saw her son as a means of being used as a tool for revenge, kind of like, you know, Zeke in a way, which is interesting. And Gabby's dad being her brother. I've never once acted like his mother. Well, don't feel too bad, Mrs. Braun, because even if you acted like the best mom in the world, it could still produce someone like Aaron, you know. Yep. We're done with the mutual age of hatred. And a lot of people, I'm sure, will say, well, this is a big turnaround. But I'm like, when you're faced with that at your door, maybe it would be enough to change your mind, you know? We say farewell to our own monsters. Whew. And then, yep, bombs away. But, oh my God. Aaron's little skeletal hands are not deterred. And then, oh my God, it just materializing Zeke. No! Shit. And there he be. Their faces down below like, well, shit. Oh no. And then I like that we bookend with, he says, I'm sorry. And Aaron says, I'm sorry at the beginning. Except it's like, you have two different vibes. At the beginning of the book, Aaron was like, I'm going to kill everything. Sorry. And here the guy was like, oh, we won't have any hatred after all this is over. Wait, sorry. To all the innocent children, I'm sorry. The Titans are coming. So, oh my God, the emphasis on the little kids is terrifying. Like, oh my God. Because, I mean, the inclusion of all these little kids being terrified here is to make you realize that Aaron's in the wrong. And then there's this weird moment of shippability between Annie's dad and Reiner's mom. I'm like, they're having this moment. I'm like, are Reiner and Annie going to end up as, like, step-siblings? I would actually be all for that, honestly. Oh, my God. Aaron and his creepy elven skull head. What's that? And then, yeah, the kid pointing at the sky. A flying boat. And then, yeah, meanwhile, it's like this, like, shining beacon, and meanwhile, everything's, like, chaos inside. Anyan's like, we're running out of fuel. We're about to make an emergency landing. I like the way Armin has, like, a little gleam in his eye where he's like Armin's little pout face is really cute. And then, meanwhile, it's like Mikasa and Levi are, like, vibrating with adrenaline. That big, furry bastard. Oh, Levi! Oh, my God. Well, it saved us the trouble of finding him. Oh, my God. Oh, wow. So, yeah. Wow, we're really getting into the second part. Good thing I didn't read this before watching part 2. Oh, my God. I would have known all about this. And we see Peak with the explosives that we saw earlier. Oh, my God. And then Reiner just... Oh, man. I love him just coming out of the smoke like that. That's great. Are they going to end with the shonen ending of the other Titan, the other Titans? Are they going to end us with that? Are they going to end us with that? I hope they do. That'd be great. And then, yeah, Peak. Reiner. Oh, no, they didn't end us with a shonen. Nah, that's all right. That's all right. I'm asking you one more question you're not gonna like. How exactly are you free? Ooh. All right. And he's not. The answer is he's not free. He's a slave to it. Ah, damn. I was really hoping it was going to end with all the Titan shifters and that was going to be the ending, but no, that's okay. That's fine. Oh my god, what's this? Oh, the high school casts. Always be sure to hydrate before using a sauna. Be considerate of others and wash your head and body before entering. Oh my god! We get Zeke and Bertolt! 1. Sauna around 10 minutes. Warms the body and improves blood flow. Thought to have detoxification effects as a result of large amount of sweating involved. Oh my gosh! Nice. What we ultimately wanted to convey in these bonus pages where it was all building up to the sauna. I was like, oh, they're like, oh, hot. I like that Aaron's doing this. Aaron seems like Ymir in this point where he's got the little bucket and the stuff that he's doing. Ofgus. Some saunas offer services during certain periods of time where you can be subjected to waves of heat. Oh my god. Oh, and Falco's there too. Aw. Zeke with his damn 8-pack. Zeke's got more abs than Reiner and Bertolt do. What the fudge? Why, Isayama? Why are you making Zeke so swole? I remember everybody saying that Isayama wanted to, like, open up a sauna after all this was over and just use the tears, the collective tears from us while reading these volumes to power it. I'd be for that. Oh, and the cold bath of 1 minute. Oh my god. Dry your body. This is important. And they give us Reiner booty. Yay, Reiner booty. And then get some fresh air. Ideally in a chair where you can stretch your legs. Oh my god, they're all just like, done. Ready to go. The sudden improvement, your whole body circulation will almost make you feel like you're tingling from head to toe. That's just how ridiculous good it'll feel. In other words, you're ready to go. Do you understand now? This is what our soul savior Ymir wanted to tell us. We've just spread these teachings around the world, free people from suffering, and create a paradise in every land. It was all to create a sauna. I want to go to Isayama's sauna. I want to do it. I want to go to the baths of Ymir. Oh my god. The girl dreams. She dreams of a world free of bonds and of fate. Ooh. 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 Okay. Interesting. Interesting! Fall of 2021, the final volume. Holy cow. Oh my god. Wow. Okay. Well, damn. That was intriguing. That was a really good volume. Let me tell you. It was really good. I realize now that the pages looked really small because they were like the double spreads, but they were so huge that I guess they just got shortened randomly. How weird. But man, yeah, I realized when I watched the first part of the anime, I was so angry at Eren because I didn't have the full picture yet, and I still think a lot of my anger is justified. I feel like it's more understood now that we've seen like the full picture and everything. But it is still so frustrating to see Eren just not. I'm glad that Isayama allows us to see that Eren's doings are not just for the sake of his friends, but are for his own agenda as well. And that he is in fact a villain. We're not supposed to root for Eren. We can feel empathy for him. We can feel sympathy for him. We can even feel like we might relate to Eren in a lot of ways. But we're not supposed to want to be Eren. And this volume definitely shows us that, no, we don't want to be Eren. Like, they call him an idiot, and then I'm excited for next week. I'm ready for volume 34. I'm so ready to get into it now. I'm so excited. Yes. But thank you, mods, for making me not... Because I was seriously going to read this volume before I started the second half. Because I wanted to do, like, volume part. And I'm glad I didn't. Because a lot towards the end is actually in the second anime part. So that's good to know. Good to know that I was not a fool in waiting, right? Oh my gosh. But yeah. I'm super excited. Like I said, next week is going to be the final volume of the manga. It's going to be so good to be done. That's going to be great. I do know that there's going to be some kind of special chapter coming out in April of next year with like the art book or something that's coming out. When that does come out, I would love to get it. I would love to get the art book, and I also love to see like the reaction. I'd like to do a reaction with the translation of that comic chapter, whatever it was. I don't know. You know, it'd be really funny because a lot of people are like, oh, it's going to be a chapter about this or a chapter like that. I'm sure people are theorizing about it. You know what I want it to be? I want it to be a chapter about the boy and the dog at the end of the anime. It has nothing to do with any of the characters of Attack on Titan. It's just that boy and that dog going through the hellscape like 1,000 years past. It's 2,000 years past the ending of Attack on Titan when the boy comes around and with the dog. I want the chapter to just be about that. That would be freaking hilarious. I would laugh my butt off. Because everybody, I'm sure, is like, oh, is it going to be a chapter about this or that? I would love it to be about the boy and the dog and the post-apocalyptic future of Attack on Titan. So, but in any case, I hope you all enjoyed this reaction and discussion. I'm curious to know your thoughts down below as we get ready for the final volume. But yeah, it's going to be a journey. So I'll talk to y'all again about that very soon. In the meantime, have a wonderful week. Please stay safe, take care, and yeah, I'll see you all again with more Attack on Titan.